ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಶುಭ ಸಂಜೆ. ಮಕರಂದ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಗಾನಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಇವರ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತ ಸಹಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುವ ಈ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲಾವಿದರಿಗೂ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ, ಸಂಗೀತಾಸಕ್ತರಿಗೂ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಡಲು ಮಕರಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ಸಂಗೀತ ತಜ್ಞೆಯಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅಪಾರ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು, ಗುರು ಪರಂಪರೆಯನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಕಲಾವಿದರು, ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಆರ್.ಕೆ. ಪದ್ಮನಾಭರವರ ಶಿಷ್ಯರಾದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕಿ ವಿದುಷಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೃಣಾಲಿನಿ ಮೆನನ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಆದರದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ನಾದಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಕಲಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ರೂವಾರಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಶಾಲಾಕ್ಷಿ ರವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ವತ್ಸಲಾಲ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರು, ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಅಕ್ಷಿತ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಚಿತ್ರಾಯುಧರವರಿಗೂ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಡಲು ಕುಮಾರಿ ಸುಧಾಂಕ.
ಪ್ರಣಮಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೌರಿ ಸೂತಂ, ಪ್ರಣಮಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೌರಿ ಸೂತಂ, ಪ್ರಣಮಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೌರಿ ಸೂತಂ, ಪ್ರಣಮಾಮ್ಯಹಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೌರಿ ಸೂತಂ. गणनाथ मामर वृंद सेवितं, गणनाथ मामर वृंद सेवितं, फणिहार भूषितं मुनिवर वंदितं, फणिहार भूषितं मुनिवर वंदितं. प्रणमाम्यहं श्री गौरी सूतं. धृतचारुमोदकं गजमुखं सितकरामित गर्वभञ्जकं, धृतचारुमोदकं गजमुखं सितकरामित गर्वभञ्जकं, धृतचारुमोदकं गजमुखं सितकरामित गर्वभञ्जकं, नतलोकसन्तोषदायकं, नतलोकसन्तोषदायकं, श्रुतभक्तपादकं सिद्धिविनायकं, श्रुतभक्तपादकं सिद्धिविनायकं. प्रणमाम्यहं श्री गौरी सूतं, प्रणितवासुदेव भक्तं सततं, प्रणमाम्यहं श्री गौरी सूतं.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಪೂರ್ವಕ. ವೀಣಾ ವಿದುಷಿ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಚೇತನ್ ರವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕರಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷವೂ ನಾದಚೇತನ, ನಾದ ವಿಕಸನ, ವಾಗ್ಗೇಯಕಾರರು ಹಾಗೂ ದಾಸನಮನ, ಮಕರಂದದ ವಾರ್ಷಿಕೋತ್ಸವ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಗೀತ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ತ್ರೈಮಾಸಿಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ತಪ್ಪದೇ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತಿವೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮಕರಂದ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಬಹುದು. ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಕರಂದ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಲು ಕುಮಾರಿ ಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸ್ನಾ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾರ್ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕೆಂದು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Dr. Mrinalini Menon is a Carnatic vocalist who works as an associate professor at the Department of Biotechnology, Sir M. Visvesvaraya Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Mrinalini started her formal training in Carnatic music at the age of 9 under the tutorship of Vidwan Puranam Purushottama Shastri of Hyderabad. Subsequently trained by Gade Satyanarayana Murthy, Bangalore, T.G. Badri Narayanan, Chennai, and Ramakrishna Rao Mane, Coimbatore, Mrinalini is presently being guided by Sangeeta Ganakala Bhushana Vidwan Shri R.K. Padmanabha. Mrinalini's vast repertoire includes the compositions of the music trinity, namely Tyagaraja, Dikshithar, and Shama Shastri, besides Dasara Padas, Vachanas, and compositions of Annamacharya, Bhadrachala Ramadasa, Papanasham Shivan, and so on. She has also rendered ancient Tamil compositions such as the Devaram, Tiruppugal, Tiruppavai, and Tiruvenpavai. She has given concerts at several prestigious sabhas in Bangalore, Mysore, Shimoga, Coimbatore, and Madurai. Mrinalini has also performed at the Tiruvayur Tyagaraja Aradhana Festival, besides having given several public performances on the occasion of Tyagaraja Purandaradasa Aradhana at various temples. She has also performed as a Bihai artist over AIR, Coimbatore. Mrinalini also has a keen interest in the musicology of Indian classical music. Noted critics have praised her singing for its mellifluous quality combined with scholarly inputs. She has also set shlokas, ugabhogas, viruttams, and padigams to music, besides conducting lectures on various aspects of Carnatic music at reputed institutions including the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Bangalore. Ma'am, we are very honored to welcome you today and looking forward to hearing your performance.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸ್ನಾ. ಸಂಗೀತವೆಂದರೆ ಕೇವಲ ಮನರಂಜನೆಯ ಸಾಧನವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆತ್ಮವನ್ನು ಶುದ್ಧಗೊಳಿಸುವ ದೈವಿಕ ಮಾರ್ಗ. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರೀಯ ಸಂಗೀತವು ಭಕ್ತಿ, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕತೆಯ ಸಂಗಮವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಪರಂಪರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ದಿವ್ಯತ್ರಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರಾದ ಮಹಾನ್ ವಾಗ್ಗೇಯಕಾರರು ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರು ಸಂಗೀತದ ಮೂಲಕ ದೈವಾನ್ವೇಷಣೆಗೆ ಸಮರ್ಪಿತವಾದ ಅವರ ಜೀವನ, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸದ ವಿಷಯ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕರಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಇಂತಹ ಮಹಾನ್ ಗಣ್ಯ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಂದ ಇಂತಹ ಅಪರೂಪದ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರಿತುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಅವಕಾಶ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೃಣಾಲಿನಿ ಮೆನನ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटि सूर्य समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव महाकाव्य नाटकादि प्रिय मूषिकवाहन मोदक प्रिय महाकाव्य नाटकादि प्रिय मूषिकवाहन मोदक प्रिय गणपति मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दितमः गणपतिम् मनसा स्मरामि ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्. I thought that was the best introduction to Mutthuswamy Dikshithar, the youngest of the Trimurti Vagekaras, Tyagaraja, Dikshithar, Shyama Shastri. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? The Trimurti, what are they known as? They are known as the Trimurtis, or the three deities of Carnatic music. Not three personages, not three great geniuses. There's a thing when you say Trimurti, it's almost like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Karnataka Sangeeta cannot exist but for these three great personages. They gave a lot of contribution. I mean, it's an understatement to say that. So, as soon as you mention a name of an individual, now we are gathered here to talk about the greatest, one of the greatest of the Vagekaras, Vaggeyakara, andre one who could compose as well as sing, and that is Mutthuswamy Dikshithar. We are here today for that purpose. What comes to mind is, where did he live, who were his parents, what was his lineage, etc. would come to mind. In this connection, let's start at the very beginning. Ramaswamy Dikshithar, whose illustrious son was Mutthuswamy Dikshithar, he was a person who was orphaned at a very young age, and he lived somewhere in the area around Kumbakonam area, and he had orientation. However, he was trained in both music as well as, that is vocal music as well as veena, and he was also he had the good fortune of being trained in both Sanskrit, Telugu, besides Tamil, of course, and he came under the tutelage of Muthu Venkatamakhi. Venkatamakhi is the author of the Chaturdandi Prakashika, the Grantha that is there. And when you say Venkatamakhi, what comes to mind? The 72 Melakarta ragas of our Shastriya Sangeeta, Karnataka Shastriya Sangeeta, which prevails in the southern part of our Punyabhumi, that is Bharat. So he was, Ramaswamy Dikshithar was trained under Muthu Venkatamakhi, and he was a scholar par excellence. ಅವರ ರಚನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 108 Raga Tala Malika is supposed to have been composed. Of course, the full text is not available with us at present. However, this is credited to him, and apart from that, a few Tana and Padavarnas are also attributed to this great composer. He was, as I mentioned, highly proficient in Sanskrit, Telugu, etc. And however, one shortcoming was there for 40 years of his life. And he was married to Shubhalakshmi, her name was. Subhammal is what she was known as. Ammal is a term of respect as they have in Tamil. So Shubhalakshmi was her name. And this couple did not have any offspring for a good number of years of their married life. And they undertook a pilgrimage to the Vaidishwaran Koil. Can any of the music students tell us what, if they've come across this temple in any context? It will be in connection with Dikshithar only, which we'll see later. Okay, I think the question answer part we'll keep it for a little later. I shouldn't conduct it like a class. Because that hangover will be there, when you think. Okay. It is connected. We'll be seeing this temple in the context of one of Dikshithar's own compositions. Vaidishwaran Koil, the deity over there is Shiva in his form as Vaidyanatha Swami. Or what is the meaning of Vaidyanatha?
The piece of doctors, sir.
The Lord of
Doctors.
medical practitioners. That is, Vaidya is a doctor. So the thing is, all Bhavaroga that Lord eliminates from us. And the consort of Lord Shiva there, Parvati Devi in the temple, is known as Balambika. So when this couple undertook this pilgrimage to Vaidishwaran Koil and stayed there, conducted the worship, their pujas, etc. It is said that Ramaswamy, he had a dream wherein Devi Balambike, avige ಒಂದು ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಹಾರ, she was presenting to him. That was the vision he had. In the same Sannidhanam, there is another Sannidhanam of Lord Subramanya, or Muruga as he is known as in Tamil. And the name of the deity there is Mutthuswamy. So when Ramaswamy Dikshithar had this vision of Devi presenting him with a pearl necklace, and there was a Sannidhanam of Mutthuswamy, he decided that if I have a son, I will name him as Mutthuswamy. So within a year or so of this pilgrimage, the couple had their first child, and it was a son, and duly he was named as Mutthuswamy. There were other siblings that he had as well, Baluswamy Dikshithar, Chinnaswamy Dikshithar, and a daughter also was born, named as Balambika, after the Devi. So that was their family. From a very young age itself, Mutthuswamy showed a lot of, he was a precocious child, you can say. His birth was in 1775. That was the year of his birth. He showed signs of genius. He learned music from his illustrious father, and also vocal and veena. He was equally well versed at vocal music as well as veena, and he was highly proficient in Sanskrit, which is why his compositions are a rich treasure trove of Sanskrita. Around when he was, the child Mutthuswamy, he was a little, may have been around 5 to 10 years of age. During that period, Ramaswamy Dikshithar got an opportunity to, he got an invitation from the Samsthanam at Manali. Manali is a place near Chennai. In fact, I think presently it's known for its oil and natural gas reserves and so on. It's known for that modern day this one. The Raja of that region actually is a chieftain, it was not a princely state. It was a chief under a zamindar of Manali. He had an opportunity to become the Asthana Vidwan over there. That was the time that the family shifted to Manali, and they had an opportunity to even visit Chennai, where Fort St. George. Remember that the British were there in our country, and well, the hangover of the British, I think we are all listening to a lot of English from me with my limitations in Kannada, which I want to be carefully using. Okay, please don't misunderstand. So, he had the opportunity to visit Fort St. George. What's so great about that? There was a lot of band music playing over there. Western music played on band. With trumpet, bugle, all those. Well, music is music. It doesn't have any language barriers or any geographical boundaries even. Well, even that, those tunes were noted by the young Mutthuswamy. And if you may be knowing that Shankarabharanam is the bass scale in Western music also. Yeah. Just as what Mayamala is to us, Shankarabharanam is there. Yeah. So that is how, that being the case, he was able to recognize, his ears were able to pick up those tunes very well. And that shaped him in a different way. We'll be coming to that a little later when we start off on his compositions. Now, around the same time, there was an interaction with Chidambaranatha Yogi, who was both an Advaitin and a Sri Vidya Upasaka. So, this yogi, Swamiji, was visiting Varanasi, and those days undertaking a pilgrimage from deep south, from a place remote south in Tamil Nadu, one end of the country, to Varanasi towards the north. You didn't have a makemytrip.com or Ease My Trip or anything. Today, you're there in Kashi. Start in the morning, you're there. Not like that. Pada Yatra, it had to be. And it took several days, and it was uncertain whether the pilgrims would even return. That was a hardship that they went through. Typically, that's what, when we face all the trials and tribulations in our day-to-day existence, well, every one of them is a pilgrimage of sorts. Though we don't realize it when we go through it, but that's how it is. So it was a rigorous journey, and story has it that they visited many kshetras in and around Kashi, Vishwanatha, Vishalakshi, many other Sannidhanams also. Probably even Badrinath and Nepala Desha also came around this time. But of course, it's not chronologically. One thing about, I also interact with the Indian Knowledge Systems branch, which has now picked up in recent times. One thing about our Shastras and things, don't expect to find exact chronology over there. It's not history. Of course, Dikshithar is more in recent times, but even there are some exact, occurrences may not be documented. Okay. Why I'm talking about it will also be coming to. What, besides these deities, what is it that is, who is the mother over there in Varanasi, apart from Devi? She who flows, Ma Ganga. One of the days, Chidambaranatha Yogi ordered his disciple Mutthuswamy to step into the Ganga, take 3-4 steps. The boy did as he was instructed, went into the waters, and what should he find? Not a typical full length this one, but very apt to mention it here at your school. Found a veena, Sri Rama written on it. That is still in the possession of their descendants. Even today, that veena. And the unique thing about it is, it's a Yali Mukha veena. Usually it is pointed downwards. You know? Itara. So that Yali Mukha veena is a rare, and it had Sri Rama written on it. Dikshithar was overjoyed. He was overjoyed, and like, if you get something, you will get good marks in your test or something. Think of your mom and dad, but tell your teachers, ma'am, I've got excellent marks, or sometimes ma'am, I passed. Yeah. He was so overjoyed. He called out to his guru. But story has it that the guru just said, Devi has blessed you. And he's supposed to have just disappeared, is one version, according to what I'm taking of the accounts of Dikshithar's life are from Professor Raghavan's essay, and also an essay by T.L. Venkatrama Iyer, both these scholars were authorities on Dikshithar. So it's said that the yogi had just disappeared. Even today they say his samadhi is placed somewhere near the area called Hanuman Ghat in Varanasi. They identify it as there. But they say that, but there was no trace of him after this. So then Dikshithar knew that that was the direction. Guru had come for a purpose, shown the direction, and he had moved on. Now it is for the Shishya to navigate his way through. He returned back to Tamil Nadu. When he returned to Manali, it was found that his parents had moved back to their native place, which was Tiruvallur. So then, a little lost initially, he wondered, what is the route I have to take? While his journey to Tiruvallur was on, he went to Tirutani for the first time. And he was praying to Lord Subramanya over there and wondering what course of action to take. He was really lost. Guru had gone, and parents also were not in the place when you don't find your parents at home, how alarmed you would get. At the Sannidhan, while he was praying, an old gentleman came with a bit of kalkanda, sugar candy in his hand. He gave it to this young boy, who must have been about, his age is documented as about 13, around when this episode took place. He gave it to Mutthuswamy and asked him to eat it. They say he put it in his mouth, in fact. And so he did that, thinking that it was just somebody giving prasadam. And this gentleman, when he looked up, there's no sign of him. He's merged into Subramanya Sannidhi, and what you see over there is only Devasena Sameta. Subramanya. That's the only Sannidhanam that's there in front of his eyes. He knew who had come.
God.
God himself. Sari Gama Padanisa Idapomagari. What is that? This is the Sarali verse, isn't it? Shri Nathadi Guru Guru Jayati Jayati Shri. That was his first composition. And see the uniqueness of it. Sari Gama Padanisa Idapomagari. Okay. Starting in the ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕಾಲ, then second speed, third speed. Right? That was his first composition, and who initiated him? Bhagwan himself. So that is the starting point to talk about this Bhagyakara in 1.5 hours. It's not possible. I think even a lifetime wouldn't be sufficient to explore his kirtanas that followed from this point, to explore it in depth. I think our one life is not enough. So what I'm doing as part of this, the rest of this session is, I would take up, the topic is exploring the divine, seeking the divine through his music. Sanatana Dharma has certain divisions in it. They're not exclusive, not mutually exclusive, and none is superior to the other or inferior. But which are the Shadvidha Marga in Sanatana Dharma? Which are the Shadvidha Marga? No, I'm making it sound a bit like a class, I know. Sorry. Shaiva, yeah, somebody was saying? Vaishnava, Kaumara, Shakta, Ganapatya, and Saura, Surya Deva. These are the 6 different schools, let's say, sampradayas. From each of those, I would render one piece while explaining. I don't want to make it, just one after the other like that. That's not the idea. We introduced Dikshithar through a composition on Ganapati. Now, from this point, I would like to point out that on this occasion, who was it who initiated Dikshithar? It was Kumara himself. Subramanya. His 8 Vibhakti Kirtanas on Lord Subramanya were composed in and around this period. Srinathadi Guruguho was the first. Manasa Guruguha Rupam in Ananda Bhairavi. Then yet another beautiful one, which it's my personal favorite, so I'd take that up. And it's a relatively rare raga called Padi. Shri Guruna Palitosmi, which I had the good fortune of learning from my own guru. We've invoked Lord Ganesha, now let's invoke the Guru in the form of Kaumara, the Kaumara Sampradaya, from the Guru of Dikshithar, which is why he took the mudra as Guru Guha. Guha is the name of Subramanya. Guru Guha. Padi is a Janya of Maya Malavagaula. Anyone has heard any other compositions in this raga?
Sharade Namostute.
Okay. Of course, later day. ಆದರೆ ಇದರ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇತ್ತು. And of course, the ragas might have been set later, but in Annamacharya's works, there are 2-3 beautiful pieces in Padi which have been among my favorites. And those are in a slightly folksy kind of thing, but giving it this weighty status, Padi, it was Dikshithar who did it. And similarly, we'll see with some other ragas too. Shri Guruna Palitosmi, Shri Guruna Palitosmi, Sachidanandanadhina, Shri Guruna alliterations that come in, everything ends in the third vibhakti. Vedanta Vedena Vikalparoga Vaidena Nahadamrita Supadena Navanadena Nadyena Sadakya Tirutani moved on to Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram andre yava devara swarupa?
Kamakshi.
Amba Kamakshi. Ekamreshanayike Karnataka Shuddha Saviri. By the way, Padi's Arohana and Avrohana is Sari Mapani Sari Pada Pumari. In fact, Dikshithar has used a lot of Malavagoda Janyas. That is the thing about him. It was perhaps among his favorites. And, so you have Karnataka Shuddha Saviri. Then apart from that, other kirtanas on Kamakshi, everything, it's difficult to render. It's not possible. Kanjadala Yadachi Kamachi Kamala Manorari. The Swarupa of the Lord, any particular utsav associated with that particular deity, the various other stories or relationships of the deity as Shivajaya or Ganesha, Janani, that kind of Skanda, Guruguha Janani, his own mother, that kind of relationships, all these are brought out very nicely, and even local legends surrounding the deity. That is, there may be unique stories, Sthala Mahatmya, which is associated with that particular deity. Those are all brought into his kirtanas. That's a unique feature of it. Apart from Kamakshi, who are the other deities we think of? Of course, other compositions on Devi like Kamakshi, Kamakoti, Pithavasini, Simhendra Madhyama, Athva, Sumadyuti, all those are there. I'll be coming to that portion also in the Asampurna Padhatis. Yeah, apart from that, Varadaraja Swami, Varadaraja Upasmahi in Saranga, even a rare composition which I heard in Ganga Tarangini. This is Gange Bhushani, the 33rd in Melakarta. Piece. So, on Varadarajaswami, Ekambreshwara, of course, the consort of Amba. Ekamranatham, Bhajeham, all those are known for in Kanchi. Tiruvannamale was the next stop in his journey. Tiruvannamale. Okay, and in Kanchipuram, one very important Sanidhanam of Ekamreshwara, that is also one of the Panchabhuta Kshetras, where Prithvi Kshetra. Chintayama Kandamula Skandam. That one is on Ekamreshwara as Mula Skanda. The Prithvi Lingam. Arunachalanadham on Tiruvannamale. And which are the other kshetras? Jambukeshwara, of course, that came a little later. Trichy and Jambu. Yeah, yeah. Before that, Chidambaram. Because if you follow the geography, that's the direction. Chidambara, which is the Ananda Prakasham Chetsabhesham Ashrayami Shivakama Vallisham. Shivakameshwari Chintayi. Calling Devi as Shivakama Sundari. Then he moved on to, of course, northwards. Tirupati, Shishachala Nayakam. That is his magnum opus in Varali. Kalahasti, the Vayulinga. Shri Kalahasti Shashrita Janavana Samirakar Mavahiraja Mole. The Pancha Linga Kshetra Kritis happened around that time. He moved towards Tiruvarur, which is on the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. That is where, see, it's not for nothing that you discover a lot, even when you reconnect with your roots. There, the Tyagaraja Vibhakti Kirtanas happened. Now, I have been referring to this Vibhakti even in the context of Guru Guha. I hope everyone understands what that means. Yeah. So, I think that you know. And this is Rama, Ramu, Rama. The way the Rama is the first case. Ramu, Raman, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramabhyam, that way. So this one he correctly would follow. Even Sri Guruna Palitosmi follows that. This one as I mentioned. So it was at this point of time that the Tyagaraja Vibhakti, Kamalamba, Navavarna Kritis, which are a magnum opus again, each one of them is set according to the Vibhakti of the word Kamalamba. So all those happened there. Apart from in Tiruvarur, there are two forms of the goddess. One is Nilotpalamba, who is a consort of Shiva in the form of Tyagaraja, Tyagesha. Nilotpalamba kritis are in the Gaulanta ragas, that is in a number of ragas, all ending in the suffix of Gaula, Riti Gaula, Chaya Gaula, Purva Gaula, like that. There's a series of them. Kamalamba, Navavarna kritis, apart from other things, it also shows Dikshithar's well-versed, his strong knowledge of not only Samayachara rituals, but he was also well-versed with some of the tantric rituals. Vamachara rituals also he was well-versed with. As you can see in the Kamalamba Navavana kritis, Sarvasha Paripuraka Chakra Swamini Paramashiva Kayamini Durvasa Chita Gupta Yogini Dukha Dhvamsini Hamsini. What does it refer to? It refers to Navavarna, refers to the 9 steps, or there's something like obstacles of sorts which you have to overcome in order to attain that oneness with the divine. And here it refers to different aspects of Sri Chakra, Devi worship. There are different chakras, and Devi, that is 9 different avarnas, chakras within the Sri Chakra itself, and as different yoginis like Gupta Yogini, Rakata Yogini, and the Bhairavi. Like that, there are 9 forms of her which are worshipped. So those were brought in. The other Navaratna series is on Abhayamba, which he composed in Mailaduture or Mayavaram. And likewise, there's a series on Mayuranatham, who's the form of Shiva in that temple. Okay, in Tiruvarur, not only the main aspects are these, but while we got a little lost in the compositions of the Vagekara, okay, who was there in Tiruvarur? Okay, not on the Laukika front. The spiritual front, there was Kamalamba, Bhagavati was there, and there was Tyagaraja in the form of Tyagi Shiva, and Nilotpalamba also as it comes out. But what about his own parents?
They moved back to
They had moved back, and he had gone to see them. He remained there in Tiruvarur for quite some time, before of course undertaking another journey to various other kshetras. And his father was Ramaswamy Dikshithar, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we already spoke something about him, that there are rare ragmalikas attributed to him and so on. And one thing that has to be noted here, Ramaswamy Dikshithar did accept some amount of royal patronage, okay, from the Zamindar of Manali and other, even Raja, so different places like that was there. But you will find that Dikshithar followed Tyagaraja Swami, another contemporary in this regard. Narastuti, he wasn't fond of. Okay, but getting back to Ramaswamy Dikshithar, yet another unique contribution of this Mahan personality was that he was the person who created, it says created, I don't know if it's right to say, some scholars say it was already there in the text, the raga called Hamsadhvani. Karam Bujapasha Bija Puram Kalusha Vidunam Bhutakaram Honestly, I wondered whether to start with this one, but I thought it may have been a little weighty for a start. But I think this was a good point to mention it. Why? Because the Vatapi Sannidhi and there are Ganapati, Tiruvarur has Shodasha Ganapati forms, okay, which led to another series that this great Vagyakara has composed, namely the Shodasha Ganapati series, of which Mahaganapati, what we sang at the start, that is included. Many, there are 16. Vatapi Ganapati, then Panchamatanga Mukha, Ganapatina Palitos, that one, Malahari. Like that, Siddhi Vinayakam, Vallabha Nayaka. Not outlining all of them at this juncture, because we have to follow Dikshithar now towards the rest of his journeys. Trichy. Which are the temples there? Sri Rangam. Parimala Ranganatham, another beautiful piece of Hamir Kalyani. The one I take now, after we saw Ganapatya and Kaumara, let's see the father of both these devatas. Which is Shri Mutthuswamy. The name Mathrubhuta. Why do you think Shiva has such a name? Anyone knows the story? In Tamil, the counterpart of this name, Mathrubhutam, is Sanskrit. Tamil, the name is Tayu Manavar. Andre, Tayi Rupadalli Kuda Bandhiru. He took the form of mother also. Shiva has a Jagata Pitarao Vande Parvati Parameshwaro. And incidentally, Dikshithar has taken up Shri Parvati Parameshwaro based on that sloka also. See, knowledge of the same. So, Mathrubhutam is a form of Shiva where he took the form of a mother. Story has it that, okay, at that point I think I'll narrate it. Shri Mathrubhutam Trishirakiri Nadham Jari Chintaye Sugandhi Kuntalama Samedam Shri Mathrubhutam Trishirakiri Nadham Jari Chintaye Sugandhi Kuntalama Samedam Shri Mathrubhutam. Somasakham Mukta Shugasadakau Nalat जाति स्त्री वेशधरणं वासुदेवमहितं भवतरणं वासनादिरहित अन्तःकरणं धरहासत्रिपुरादिहरणं वासुकी प्रमुखाभरणं भासमान नवावरणं दासजन सन्तोषकरणं वासितलवजवन्ति पुष्पविकासप्रियहृदयं सदयं मासवर्षपक्षोत्सवविभवं सदाशिवं परमशिवं श्री वैश्यजाति स्त्रीवेशधरणं. The Kaveri was in spate, it was in flood. There was a deep devotee of Shiva who was in childbirth on the opposite bank, and she was waiting for her mother to come. And she wanted her mother by her side, as is normal in such a. And there was no sign of her mother because she couldn't cross the river. It was fully flooded. Then mysteriously, the mother just came, in spite of the climate being in a bad shape. Came, did the needful, helped deliver the child. Mother and child were healthy. And then, as it happened, mother was with her daughter for quite some time, all that. As it happened, another lady of the same form as her mother came in, saying that I couldn't come because of the extremely bad climatic conditions. When they turned around, who's this? We just saw you, you have come. They turned around, there was no sign. It was only, who was it? It was Lord Shiva. Taken Tayum Anavar, who has taken the form of Tai also. So Shiva has such a name. That is the significance of this Kirtana. And as I told you, Dikshithar has brought in that story also in that little passage. That was the unique thing about it. Okay, now let's go a little further. He was going towards, of course, Kurikare. There's a famous Annapurne Vishalakshi Kirtana and also Shri Vishwanatham Bhajeham, which is the Chaturdasha Ragamalika. And it was around this time that he became acquainted with Vaidyalinga Mudalayar, who was a rich Raja, a chieftain kind of person who ruled in that region. He was very, not with a lot of, coercion or anything, but Vaidyalinga Mudalayar wanted at least one Kirtana and praise of me too. Because it was common those days for musicians to sing about their patrons. It was very common. So as it happened, excuse me, I have to keep this in silent mode. So it was common for such a practice those days. But however, Dikshithar, following the footsteps of Tyagaraja, with whom there is an account that he has interacted with Tyagaraja, no matter what level of poverty he lived in, and none of these people were well off, please note. None of them were well off. So the thing was, he lived in poverty, but he never sought royal patronage. Vaidyalinga Bhupala Palanam. At the end of the Chaturdasha Ragamalika, Shri Vishwanatham. The end of that, you find this mentioned, isn't it? So the thing is, he did not want to compose on him, but he just sought the blessings of Lord Shiva as Vishwanath on Vaidhilinga Bhupa. That was the way he cleverly managed it. Well, so I think even in terms of person management, I think we have to learn a lot from our greats. And then of course he came across this, of course Nagapatnam, there are Kirtanas. As I said, one lifetime is not enough. Neelayadachi. Ramana Sodari Adari Ambari Kadambari Neelambari Amba Neelaya Tayakshi Kaya Rohanisha, which is a Shiva there. Sundararajam Ashrayi Gajabrindavana Saranga Vadarajam. It is on Sundaraja Swami. And the unique thing about this is, in the Anupallavi, if you see, Nanda Nandana Rajam Nagapatana Rajam Sundari Ramarajam Mahirajam Mandasmita Mukhamujam Mandaradara Karambujam Nandakaranayanamujam Sundarara Padambujam Rajam Ambuja. See the way he's used the words. After all these journeys, came across a drought-stricken land. We can well imagine, I mean, when the rains failed, people were suffering as he was going towards Etiapura. And there it happens. Salilam Vashaya 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 Nandamrita Kashini Amrita Vashini Harani Pujite Shive Bhavaniya Nandamrita Kashini. Also he refused to have any thing to do with, I mean, the family's economic situation was not much. But as I said earlier, he refused to even bend before anybody to take any kind of financial assistance or anything. In fact, he said, Hiranmayim Lakshmim Sada Bhajami Hinamanava Shrayam Tyajami Hiranmayim Stiratara Sampatradayam Shiram Budhitanayam Harivakshasthalayam Harinim Charanakisarayam Tarakamala Kuvalayam Marakatamani Valayam Hiranmayim Shvetadvipavasini Shri Kamalambi एकाम्बरां भूतभव्यविलासिनी भूसुरपूजिताम्बरां मातरमाच मालिनी माणिक्याभरणधरां गीतवाद्यविनोदिनी लक्ष्मी संगीतवाद्यविनोदिनी गिरिजाब्दां इन्दिरां संगीतवाद्यविनोदिनी गिरिजाब्दां इन्दिरां शीतकिरणनिभवदनां श्रुतचिन्तामणिसदनां पीतवसनां गुरुगुहमातुलकान्तां ललितां हिरण्मयी लक्ष्मीं सदा भजामि हीनमानवश्रियं त्यजामि. Kaldumalai, which is a temple again to Subramanya, where it is, even today, you have the eagles who come at that particular point during noon and the prasadam is offered to them. That is there even till date. Kaldumalai is otherwise, the Kirtana over there was Subramanyena Rachitoham. कंकशैल विहारेण वरेण वल्लीदेव सेनारमणेन अकारवृत्तेन सानन्देन भोगमोक्षप्रदेन प्रीतेन वेङ्कटेश्वर विभावितेन विचित्र विशाखमहोत्सवेन शुकरहस्य प्रकाश गुरुगुहेन कृत्तिकासुतशुद्धधन्येन Subramanyena. Tiruchendur also he is composed. Arubadai Veedu of Subramanya, which is there. Well, I think that was enormous, isn't it? All these compositions in 60 years of his life. He eventually decided to go and stay with his brother Baluswamy Dikshithar. Meanwhile, his father had passed away, and Dikshithar, it said that having completed most of his family responsibilities, there was a daughter who he had got married off, so on. So he decides to go and stay with Baluswamy Dikshithar, his brother, who incidentally, he had been out of touch for a long time, and he came to know that in Edayapuram there was this Vidwan, a very learned Vidwan, who was playing an unusual instrument. Very unusual instrument which was not used in our Karnataka Sangeeta till then. Yavadadu? Violin. So Baluswamy Dikshithar is a person who introduced the violin to Carnatic music. Father Ramaswamy Dikshithar introduced Hamsadwani. Mutthuswamy Dikshithar introduced so much and introduced a new raga, Amritavashini, gave it a weighty status, gave relatively what we have here in Sukada pieces like Sunagavarali and all that, has given it such a weighty status. I'll conclude his story and then just mention a few points on his kirtanas.
You can take your time.
Okay, I don't want to extend it too long also. So he went to Edayapuram, and there, of course, the kirtanas that are attributed to them, this in Megharanjani Raga, there is a piece that is composed on the deity there, Venkateshwara Sannidhanam is there, Srinivasa Sannidhanam is there, but there's also a ruler over there called Venkatesha Edappa Bhupati. That was the person who was there. So his Megharanjani, there's a piece which, I'm going into the details now, but it's composed in praise of Bhagwan. At the same time, Venkatesha could also mean his dear friend. So just like he managed Vaidyalinga Bhupala Palanam in Shri Vishwanatham Bhajayam, in the same way, without doing Narastuti, he has composed it in there are journeys that he's undertaken to the home state where I come from, Kerala. Parashurama's movie it's termed as the entire west coast was. So Guruvayur, Shri Krishnam Guru Pavana Puradisham Yogesham Shri Krishna Vajama Nasasa Taram Shritarana Paripalam Palubalam Harihara Shastaram Shabrimala. So I think there is no deity, no form of the divine whom he has excluded. It's difficult to find. Similarly, there is also in Kerala one of the kshetras, so it's not very clear which one it is. Rakta Ganapati, there's a piece in Mohanam which is supposed to be composed there. And of course other, now I think no mention, I think can be complete or when you talk about geography. It's not only South India, but okay, was there any Sannidhanam in Karnataka? Yes, there is a Kirtana in Raga Sharavati, which is the Asampurna Mela version of Mararanjini, the 25th Mela Raga. That is supposed to be on a Saraswati Kshetra at Punavar. It's identified as that. That is one. North now, it is not clear whether it was during his visits with Chidambara Natha Yogi or later that he undertook a pilgrimage. Shri Satyanarayanam Satyajnanandamayam Sarvo Vishnumayam Shri Vasavadi Pujitam Vada Muni Jana Bharavito Dasa Jana Paripalito Vasavana Todi of the Hindustani Sampradaya, Gujari Todi, Turushka Todi also is a name for it. In those regions, bhajans were in that particular island. Pashupatishwaram Pranaumi Satatam. Pashupatinath in Nepal. Interestingly, there's a passage in this. Paschima Kashmira Raja Vinutam Pannagamayudam Sushobhitam. Paschima Kashmira Raja. I've read a couple of commentaries. Now, Nepal geographically is the same, isn't it? What exactly it referred? It may have been that while Dikshithar was present there, the king of Western Kashmir, that's some kingdom in that region, let's not think of it now, was also visiting Nepal. Now, can we even think of what is on the western side of Kashmir? I hope that Bhagwan sorts out the situation soon enough. But that was this Sannidhanam outside our country even, which is now outside the country that he has visited. So like that. And of course he's talking of the rare forms of the divine. Gange Mampahi in Jinjuruti, that is on the Ganga Nadi that he has composed, and also other rare forms you have on Renuka Devi, where she is described as Parashurama Janani and as Gandharva Bhanjari, bringing in the story of Renukamba, where she is sort of distracted by the Gandharva couple and she doesn't attend to her course. Jamadagni. So she works.
With the mud pot.
Yeah, she's not able to form this one, which she's usually able to do because of her satitva. So that story also comes in. Other forms of rare forms of the divine, you come across Rudrakopa, referring to Veerabhadreshwara. Bhairava, Kala Bhairava, he is composed of. Then Marakatavalli, might have heard, it's a well-known Kambhoji composition. Interestingly, in that Kirtana, it is not Parvati who is being invoked, but rather Hari Hridaya Vasini Mohini Harihara Putra Jananim Nalim. Who is that? Who is the Devi there?
Lakshmi.
Not Lakshmi, Mohini. Why? Because Harihara Putra Janani, Lord Ayyappa was born of the Samyoga of Shiva and Vishnu.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So, Marga Sahayeshwara and Marakatavalli are the Sannidhanams. According to Rangaramanuja Iyengar, this Harihara Putra Janani could have just been, need not have been according to that. He says it's because there's an Ayyanar form which is an idol or deity present. Ayyanar is a folk deity who has been over a period of time integrated with Shasta. So it could be because there's an Ayyanar deity near the temple. That, these are the parents, father, mother figures to that God. Like that, it could have come about. That also is one hypothesis, one theory that has come about. In his Kritimani Malai book, I have come across this. So, that was Dikshithar, and now he was almost 60. The year was 1835. Back in Etyapuram, in the temple, there was an elephant which was sort of getting mother. It was tending to run amok kind of. And the king was very worried. Raja of Etyapuram was very worried whether any kind of disaster will befall the kingdom. So he runs to Dikshithar, who had already saved him once by bringing the reins from Amritavasham. So he runs to him and asks, is there some problem that's going to happen to my kingdom? So Dikshithar assures him, no, don't worry, everything will be all right. He gathers his shishyas around him. They all sing his famous composition, Meenakshi Me Mudam Dehi. Meenalojani Pashamojani Mani Kadambasini Meenalojani Pashamojani Mani Kadambasini. They keep repeating that passage. Shive pahi, Shive pahi, Shive pahi. He keeps saying Shive pahi. That was the last, I think we have addressed all the sampradayas. Surya Murte Namastude Sundara Chaya Dipate Surya Murte Namastude Sundara Chaya Dipate Surya Murte Namastude Sundara Chaya Dipate Surya Murte. Karya Karanatmaka Jagat Prakasha Simharasha Adhipate Karya Buddha Tejas Purte Arogyari Phalada Kirte Arya Vibuddha Tejas Purte Arogyari Phalada Kirte Surya Murte Namastude Sundara Chaya Dipate Surya Murte. Sarasa Mitra Mitra Bhayano Sakirana Karna Suno Pura Papa Hare Krishayano Guru Morita Swabhayano Su मंत्रात्मने सौवर्ण स्वरूपात्मने भारतीश हरिहरात्मने मुक्ति मुक्ति विदरणाय परे सूर्य मूर्ते नमोस्तुते That was one of the suns, S-U-N, sun, in the horizon of Carnatic music. Some common features of his kirtanas, apart from addressing various deities, I should just mention, there's a kirtana even in praise of Brahmadeva. Bhushapatim, Manjubhashapatim. In the raga, it's Vachaspati. There is Bhushapati. Bhushavati is the Asampurna. Now, we've been going on talking about this Asampurna Mela system, Padhati. Okay, that was the system of Venkatamakhi, and it was followed by Dikshithar. Why it is significant is that the Sampurna scale, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa, Sa, Ni, Da, Pa, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa, that is only a scale, like my Guru always says. Dikshithar avoided that, especially for the Vivadi Melakarta ragas. One topic I'm very fond of is the Vivadi Melakarta ragas, because there's something different about it, and it's unique to our 40 out of 72 Melakarta ragas are Vivadi. Now, to avoid that Vivadi interval, it's like saying to minimize the Vivaditva, Dikshithar took up the Venkatamakhi method. With the result, interestingly, you don't find any Dikshithar composition in Gharahara Priya, but instead you have Shri Raga, which he used. Shri Varalakshmi, Amasupim, and so on. Those are all well-known compositions that are there. So, another thing is, he used, if you take Shri Varalakshmi as well as Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam and all that, you find something called the Gopucha Prayoga. Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam Sarashayami Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhavam Agaraja Yoga Vaibhavam Raja Yoga Vaibhavam Yoga Vaibhavam Vaibhavam Bhavam Vam, like that. And you have the Shrotovaha, which is the reverse. Gopucha it's called because it is wide at the base and it tapers like a cow's tail. That's why it's called Gopucha, which literally means a cow's tail. Shrotovahas. Sham Prakasham Swarupa Prakasham Tattva Swarupa Prakasham Sakala Tattva Swarupa Prakasham Shiva Shaktyadi Sakala Tattva Swarupa Prakasham. How it is So these are all unique features of I think not only the Tyagaraja Vibhakti, also Shri Varalakshmi, you find this. Shri Sarasapade, Rasapade, Saradi. That one, Pade, Pade, like that comes. So these are some unique characteristics. Then, yes, I think another interesting thing is that you don't have a multitude of sangatis in Dikshithar compositions like you have in Tyagaraja. Now Tyagaraja compositions, now Teliyaneru or even Chakkani Rajamargamu has scope for, the Pallavi passage itself has a scope for elaboration. But that is not seen because it's so much, every sancharas may be fewer, but every bit of it gives a picture of that raga. And as Jyoti ji just had mentioned yesterday, the raga mudra, apart from Guru Guha, is something intricately woven into us. Dharaha savyuta mukham puruhe adbhuta charanam puruhe samsara bhidyapahe Arabhi. Even in this Tyagaraja Yoga Vaibhav, Shri Guru Guha Guru Sachidananda Bhairavisham. Like that. Some places it's given very prominently. Some places it is in a hidden sort of way. So these are all, I think, with the training of the D.K. Patamal, D.K. Jayaraman school, in fact, Dikshithar's descendants, Ambi Dikshithar and others, actually their descendants are through Baluswamy actually said. Though Dikshithar himself had a daughter, the lineage continues through Baluswamy Dikshithar, and they still have, one of the descendants still has a veena. And the thing is, Ambi Dikshithar was the person from whom Patamal learned many of the Dikshithar compositions, apart from Venkatramaiah, who is an authority on Dikshithar too. So that school of training with my guru Shri T.G. Badrinarayan sir in Chennai, I had the good fortune of looking at a few gems of this great Vagyagara. And I don't know, it has only been a humble submission here, it's only been an offering here. I hope I've done some justice to my gurus and to R.K. Padmanabha sir also. श्रीपति विनुते सीता सीते शिव सहिते श्री कमलाय अंबिके राकाचन्द्रमुखी रक्षिकलोलमुखी चन्द्रमुखी रक्षितकोलमुखी रमावाणी सखी राजयोगसुखी शाकम्भरी शातोदरी चन्द्रकलाधरी शङ्करि शङ्कर गुरुभक्त वशङ्करि ಏಕಾಕ್ಷರಿ ಭುವನೇಶ್ವರಿ ಈಶ ಪ್ರಿಯಕರಿ ಶ್ರೀಕರಿ ಶುಭಕರಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾ ತ್ರಿಪುರ ಸುಂದರಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವೆ ಲಲಿತೆ ಶ್ರೀಪತಿ ವಿನುತೆ ಸೀತಾ ಸಿದ್ಧೆ ಶಿವ ಸಹಿತೆ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ನಿಧಯೇ ನಿಧಯೇತಿನ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟ ನಿವಾಸಾಯ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸಾಯ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಕೋಸಲೇಂದ್ರಾಯ ಮಹನೀಯ ಗುಣಾತ್ಮನೇ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ ತನುಜಾಯ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮಾಯ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಮಂಗಳಂ
ಹೇಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು? Such a wonderful program. Yeah, definitely. See, ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರೀಯ ಸಂಗೀತದ ತ್ರಿಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದವರು ಶ್ರೀ ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರು. ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೈಣಿಕರಿಗೂ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರು ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸ್ವತಃ ಅವರು ವೈಣಿಕರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅವರ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತರದೇ ನೀವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ದೀರ. ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ವರ್ಡಲ್ಲೂ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಅರ್ಥಗಳು ಅಡಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಒಂದು ವೈಶಿಷ್ಟ್ಯಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವಿಭಕ್ತಿ ರಚನೆಗಳು, ಇಡೀ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ವಿಭಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ತೃತೀಯ ವಿಭಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು, ಪ್ರಥಮ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಪ್ರಥಮ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜರ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜ ಸುಧಾರಣೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಥೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರ ಕೃತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ ಅವರನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋವಂಥದ್ದು, ಸ್ತುತಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ದೇವತೆಯನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ದಿನ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂಜಿಸಿದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಫಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಇಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವರ ಕೃತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಅಂಥ ಕೃತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲಿತು ಒಂದು ತನ್ಮಯರಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ನುಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಆ ದೇವತೆಯ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಅದು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನೀವು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇನ್ಮೇಲಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಖಂಡಿತ. ಈಗ ಸಿದ್ಧಿವಿನಾಯಕ ಮಗಿ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿ ಹಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ವ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಗಮನಿಸಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅದು ಟ್ಯೂನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕಂಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಸಂಗೀತ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದರದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಅನುಭೂತಿನೇ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರು ಅಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಜರ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Yes, that is one thing in the Navagraha Kirtanas. I forgot to mention that you find a lot about which Rashi, which the position of the planets in the different Rashis, all those things.
ಈಗ ಹಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸೂರ್ಯಮೂರ್ತಿಯದು ಹಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗಮನಿಸಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಿಂಹ ರಾಶಿ ಅಧಿಪತಿ, ಸಿಂಹ ರಾಶಿಗೆ ಸೂರ್ಯದೇವ ಅಧಿಪತಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಗ್ರಹಗಳದ್ದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೃತಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ನವಗ್ರಹಗಳ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೃತಿಗಳು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಚಂದ್ರ ಗುರು ಮಿತ್ರಂ, like that it comes. That Angaraka is favorable to that combination. Manu and Chandra.
ಕುಜ, ಸೂರ್ಯ,
ಚಂದ್ರ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗುರು 4 ಜನ ಮಿತ್ರ ಗ್ರಹರು, ಅವರು 4 ಮಿತ್ರರಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಕೃತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿರೋ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಕೃತಿಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಆ ದೇವತೆ ಮೇಲೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರನ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆ ದೇವತೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ವಿವರಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ವಿವರಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ವರ್ಣನೆಗಳು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ತೂಕ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಸೊ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮೂವರ್ದು ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಾರಸ, ಕದಳಿ ಪಾನ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಳ್ನೀರು ಕುಡ್ದು ಹಾಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಅಂತ ಮೂವರ್ಗೂ ನಾರಿಕೇಳ, ಹೀಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕದಳಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು, ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ ಅಂದರೆ ದ್ರಾಕ್ಷಿ, ಎಳ್ನೀರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಒಡೆದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ತಾನೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಎಳ್ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದು. ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡನ್ನು ಆ ರಸ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ತ್ರಿಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರಾದ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತು ತನಕ ನಮಗೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಲೈಫು ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವರ ಜೀವನ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇತ್ತು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸಂಗೀತ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಆದರೂ ಅವರು ಈ 1.5 ಗಂಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು.
But I try to bring in one complete kirtana for each of the ಅದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದು ಮಾಡೇ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Otherwise it will be sort of leaving. Though I had to move a little faster on some. You elaborate each of the sancharas there. I mean, the flavor is different, but yeah. One thing I just wanted to point out. I told you that he had been to Fort St. George as a little boy. What about that? Does anyone know any of this? Santatam pahi mam sangeeta shyamale sarvadhare janani sarvadhare chintitatha pradicchitrupini shive Shri Guru Sevite Shiva Mohakare. What is this? God save the gracious Queen. God save the gracious Queen. God save the Queen are the people who ruled over us at that time, British. Their national anthem is composed on Bhagavati. That also is there. I didn't mention it, sorry.
That's okay. So
Just shows that there's no geographical barrier.
Yeah.
Music is music.
Correct. ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ಸಂಗೀತ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸಂಗೀತ, ಹಿಂದೂಸ್ತಾನಿ ಸಂಗೀತದಿಂದನೂ ಅಮೀರ್ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಇಂಥ ರಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದರದ್ದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಗೀತದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕಾರಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವರ ಕೃತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕರಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ನಡೆದಿರೋದು ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಮಾಡಿ. ನಾವು ಬರೀ ಕಚೇರಿಗಳು, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ಸ್, like that. But this is the first program, lecture program. We really enjoyed a lot and gathered so much information from you about Dikshithar's compositions and his life. And thank you so much for being with us and giving your wonderful lecture to us. And many thanks to RKP sir, Karnataka Gana Kala Parishad, so for joining with us for conducting this program. And ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಏನೋ ಅಂದರೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ.
My thanks to all of you personally for taking time off your busy schedules and coming. I like this audience very much today.
Thank you.
Because it was a very, it was a learned audience. See, in our Karnataka Sangeeta, the thing is, it's not the numbers.
Correct.
It's the receptiveness, how much they appreciate, how much they understand, learned appreciation. That is important, which I felt all of you had.
It's not for mass. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಗೀತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಸಾಕು, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೋ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರ ನೀಡಿದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನಂತ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ದಿನ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಕರ್ ದೀಪಾ ಉಮೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಿರೂಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.